Hi, my name is Kat. This is Aphrodite Set Free. Excuse this coat. I was feeling a little bit like I might be starting to catch a cold yesterday. So of course I did everything I needed to do, and I never really get fully sick. Listen, I'm not going to waste your guys' time. I know that this topic has been beaten down to a bush, but stay here, listen to this entire video, because I'm going to tell you this in a way that is going to give you a better understanding on this whole thing and allow you to see it in a perspective that clicks in you at a deeper level, and you'll actually be able to implement foundational changes in your life, because there is a strong reason as to why it is so vital that you stop being an NPC today. You stop being a chameleon and you start owning your true power. No more are you going to be at the mercy of how other people act and be somebody who just responds to how others are, a sheep. No more of this. You deserve to feel peaceful during social situations. You deserve to be authentic. In fact, it's needed that you are, because you are important. You are an important part of the puzzle that makes up this entire universe. Stop hiding yourself. Let's get into it. So, I want to say I myself understand you so well, because I have done this my whole life. I've been a chameleon, and a lot of social anxiety with that. I've had a lot of OCD thoughts replaying past conversations, tormenting me before I started doing inner work. A lot of imaginary future thinking of how social situations will play out, and always seeing myself as horrible in all of these situations, as somebody that did wrong, somebody that said the wrong thing, acted the wrong way. It was never that I did a good job in these interactions or would do a good job in the future. It was always with fear and worry. And it's because I wasn't tapped into my truth. I didn't know who I was. And so I was just this leaf blowing in this river, being pushed around up against rocks, and instead of myself being a rock that stood strong against the river, I'm just pulling this analogy. I don't know where this came from. It just popped out. But you see this analogy, I'm the rock now. I get to be the rock, and it's so much more peaceful as turmoil and changes go through, because you just are steadfast, you're true, you're steady. I understand. I myself, if others perceived me, they would probably see me as an extrovert. They would see me as somebody that talks a lot, loves to be loud, loves to be in the conversation. And it's so funny, because just recently in my life, I've realized that there's this pain deep down I feel of anxiety when I'm talking in social situations a lot of the time. And it's that I've always been trying so hard to make the other people feel comfortable and happy. And so I try to bring something to the table by talking, and I'm trying to give them a good time. But I didn't realize that the best gift you can give people is your ear, truly listening, as well as your unique essence, your energy. And it doesn't matter if you're talking or not, as long as you are tapped in to your breath, you're authentic, and you're in your energy and your power. So it's just funny, because a lot of times I think I'm both an extrovert and an introvert. It just depends on who I'm with. It depends on the topic. A lot of times I only like talking about deeper topics, and I do love to just sit and listen to people. And whenever I'm in social situations, I've finally come to very recently realize I feel so much better during and after the less talking I'm doing. So if you're somebody who is pretending to be an extrovert or you're pretending to be an introvert, either way, maybe you're both and it just depends. But the best thing to do is to tap into your breath and just flow with what feels natural in that moment for you. Getting into that example of my life, and I'll tell you even, I had an aunt, and I'm not going to say who, but I have an aunt, and she's somebody that is a strong presence. And I always thought that I needed to be a strong presence when I'm around her because I so badly wanted to be liked by her. I cared so much what she thought of me, and I didn't realize that she's in her own world, talking, and she will never be able to understand me, and me trying so hard by talking and matching her energy, matching her presence. I realized what was happening is that you've got two strong things coming together and there's no balance, and I was being fake, and then that caused discord in myself and made me feel uncomfortable. And it goes even deeper than this. A lot of times, these people that you are trying to impress, if you're an empath, then you're somebody who can feel when people don't like themselves. And so if you're around somebody that is not tapping into themselves and they are being fake, they are being very unconscious, and they are not feeling peaceful, and they've got a lot going on, inner turmoil going on inside of them, you're going to feel that. But if you're an empath who has not done the inner work and is not consciously aware of yourself, you are going to project that onto yourself, and you are going to think that them not liking themselves and the disharmony in themselves is caused because of you. And you're going to think that it's something that is your job to balance and fix. And so you are feeling desperate energy because you are feeling that they are rejecting you, but truly they're rejecting themselves. All right, so let me break this down simply. What's happening is that you, as somebody who was a people pleaser, an empath, feels the disapproval from someone else who might be acting a little mean towards you. In my experience with this particular person, it was that they were always saying snippy little comments to me. So for example, I bleached my hair blonde, and she sees me and she says, not everybody is meant to be blonde. What are you supposed to say to that? Very bossy. Anytime I was just sitting there, she would whenever I would be just minding my own business, she would look at me, order me to do something. Just go do it. Now that I'm an adult and I'm not a child anymore, I can clearly see that this is unfair treatment. And as a child, I just took it and accepted it like, okay, you're the adult. But looking at it now, it's unfair to treat people like this. Even if they are a child and you want them to help out, you can ask them and talk to them in a way that is respectful and give them the choice. You don't need to push people to do things for you, especially if they truly don't want to do it, or maybe they have something that they need to do instead. And so you shouldn't just assume that they have the time and energy to do what you're asking them to do. First, see if they are even capable of getting it done, or if they have something else that they need to do in that moment. Anyways, so that's just an example of what she would do. Another time I remember she told me I was like 10 or 11, and she looks at me and she goes, this one person was telling me that you are so beautiful, and, Katie is so pretty. And, and I was just like sitting there on the couch, and I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. And I was so insecure at the time, and it made me feel really good. And then she just stood there, stared at me for a bit, and she was just standing about 10 feet away. I remember this perfectly. She looks at me for like 5 seconds and she goes, I don't really see it. This is a bully. This is somebody that is not happy with themselves, and I don't know why I tried to get them to like me, because when somebody, and this is an ongoing pattern that I have had. I remember I was doing an internship and I was working in a school, and there was this girl who was so mean to me for no reason. And I remember after I was introducing myself to her, she looks at me and she goes, you're a very interesting person. And she said it just like that. You're a very interesting person. And I smiled and I said, oh, well, thank you. I like being interesting, I guess. But the undertone, the way she said it, it was not a compliment, and it was clear. And that entire school year, what did I do? I tried so hard to get her to like me. Well, why? Why would you? And so by trying to get people that are disapproving of you to like you, all you're doing is rewarding poor behavior. And they're going to just keep doing it more and more. So stop it. Stop rewarding poor behavior. And in addition to this, the irony is that when somebody is rude or mean, they don't like parts of themselves. It's always a reflection of how they feel about themselves. It is never about you. So no matter how people treat you, you have to remember, however somebody treats you, it is always about something within themselves. It is never about you. Stop making it about yourself. And then the irony is that the disapproval, the discord that you feel from them, you are trying to balance that by acting like them, similar to them. Maybe you'll, if they talk loudly, you'll talk loudly. Like a more like nasal, like valley girl, like they talk like this. And then like maybe you kind of like talk like that a little bit more too, to like match the way that they talk. You know what I mean? And they're like a little bit bored. And so you're gonna try to talk like that too a little bit. And this is inauthentic. If you naturally talk like that, I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying that if it's not your natural voice, whatever the voice is, don't try to talk like them and be in that energy that they are, because that energy that they're in, they don't like it. They're gonna like you even less. And so isn't that so funny that you're trying to get them to like you, and what's actually happening is they're gonna dislike you even more when you do that. So really stop being a chameleon for that reason. I hope that clicks something in you. It's so funny. And on top of all of that, what you're doing is you are creating neurological patterns in your brain into being somebody that responds in a certain way to how people talk and act to you. And every time you do this, you're deepening these neurological patterns, creating patterns of being somebody that responds in a certain way to certain behaviors and certain things, instead of being a consciously focused, free thinker, somebody that is presently aware and can think on their feet, and they are authentic to themselves and they are aware. Instead, you're just this robot that responds. All right, this microphone went out, but I'm just going to continue without it. last but not least, you are teaching yourself to be inauthentic and to be a sheep, to be somebody that responds and gives your power away. This form of self-abandonment, what's happening is that you are no longer going to be solidified in yourself. You are not going to feel deep self-love, and you're going to feel an abandonment wound that you're creating within yourself. It's not all doom and gloom though. This is definitely possible to heal, and every single time that you recognize this pattern that is happening again when you're talking to other people, every time you notice it and stop it, even just a little bit, hold your tongue from saying something that is agreeable, hold your tongue from saying something that you know that they're interested in or that they would like, and just sit there with yourself and hold space for your authenticity, your vibe, your uniqueness, and say to yourself, feel that the one who you truly care about being there for is yourself. The one who you truly care about impressing, right, quote unquote, the one you truly care about being liked by, loved by, is yourself. And it's all so ironic because once you do this, you are going to be more accepted and liked by these people once you stop caring. And it's funny because at that point, you really don't care anymore that they like you. You're over it. It doesn't really matter to you anymore. But that's just what happens naturally. And they're going to be more. And if they don't, then you also are just fine because you're on your own, and you're going to weed out the people that are not meant to be in your life, and you're going to magnetize people that are going to match who you really are. You're going to draw in people that really love you for being you, and you're going to feel so much more comfortable, and you're going to shine. You're going to shine so much more bright. So if you find yourself being inauthentic, don't be hard on yourself and think that you've been doing something bad that you should feel shame or guilt for. That's just going to create a pattern and a cycle in and of itself and create more of this. We want to accept it and integrate this part of ourselves, love it, understand it, get to know it, and then allow yourself to step into your true nature. Again, I say this in all my videos, but meditate. Meditation can look like a lot of different ways, but what it is it's listening and tapping into your breath and being still within. It's observing your thoughts instead of being attached to them. And when you can do this, whether you're alone or with people, whether you're doing dishes or even playing video games, whether you're walking or sitting, when you can start to do this more and more, you're going to know yourself, and things are going to naturally unfold, and you're going to be naturally your true self. And instead of react in a pattern, you're going to respond with authenticity. So as a recap for this video, I want you to really understand that when you're a chameleon and you're trying to mimic people who seemingly disapprove of you, those people are going to like you even less when you try to act like them, because they don't even like themselves deep down. On top of this, Everything that they do and say is more about them. It is all about them. It has nothing to do with you. Their perception of you is all about them. It's not something that you need to control. Every time that, can you hear that person in the hallway of our apartment? Every time that you are abandoning yourself, you are creating a wound of self-abandonment, and you are saying no to deep self-love. So, yeah, really stop it, because they're never gonna like you, and they might seem like they get along with you when you act like them, but all it's doing is making them like you less, and you're never going to be loved for who you really are. If you do this, you're always going to be loved for being fake, and it's not true love that way. So you'll be accepted, I guess, a little bit, but you're going to be accepted by the wrong people. So really think about it for a moment. Think about what you want and who you want in your life, what you want your life to look like. What do you want to surround yourself with? Do you want to continue being fake? Do you want to continue putting on this mask? Do you want to continue abandoning yourself? Or do you want to step into your true power? Don't you want to get to know yourself and who you really are? No one else can do this for you except for you. You're the only one. You're the only one that can do this. I'm like getting closer and closer to the camera. It's you. It's you, Neo. You're the chosen one. So choose yourself. Don't choose this illusion that you have of somebody else. You don't even truly understand them. You see them as a perception in your mind that is also an illusion, and see them as something that you've made up based upon your own experiences and how you see the world. So even the way you see them, you don't even understand them. So why would you care if they can understand, try to get them to understand you? Like, neither of you can really understand each other. I believe in you. I know that you can do this. It's time that you start believing in yourself. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video was helpful, and may you have an amazing rest of your week. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.